Now, in this session, we are going to see the Module 5 Material Science, which has dielectric materials. What are the types and expressions of dielectrics? We will see. What are dielectric materials? Dielectric materials are the materials which do not conduct electricity but get polarized when kept in the electric field. Examples are glass, ceramics, polymers, paper, etc. What is polarization? We will see in the next. So, the one which do not conduct electricity, the materials which do not conduct electricity but get polarized in presence of electric field are dielectrics. What is a dipole? Two equal and opposite charges separated by a small distance constitutes a dipole. So, two equal and opposite charges separated by a fixed distance is nothing but a dipole. You can see in the diagram over here, when the positive and negative charges are separated by a distance, it is nothing but a dipole. Now, what is meant by polarization? What are these dielectrics? What is this polarization when kept in a dielectric field? So, what is happening here is polarization is nothing but the separation of effective centers of positive and negative charges in a substance by the application of electric field is known as a polarization. What here it says is, you can look at the diagram over here, atoms in a dielectric in the absence of electric field, you can see that towards the left side they are arranged in a particular manner. But when the same dielectric is placed in the electric field, what is happening? There is a displacement of positive charges and negative charges. Due to the displacement of this positive and negative charges, what is happening? The dipoles are created. Dipole means a positive and separation of two charges, equal and opposite charges by a fixed distance constitutes a dipole. So that this phenomena of separation of charges in the presence of electric field is called as polarization. So polarization is denoted by P and we call it as dipole moment per unit volume. The expression is given as epsilon naught E into epsilon r minus 1, that is N alpha into EI. We see what is alpha, what is EI in the next slides. Now, what are the types of dielectrics? There are two types of dielectrics, non-polar dielectrics and polar dielectrics. Now, we will see what exactly is polar and non-polar dielectrics. Non-polar dielectrics, the centers of both positive as well as negative charges coincide. That means the positive and negative charges coincide. These are the materials which do not possess a permanent dipole moment. Since the positive and negative charges are coincided, there is no separation between the positive and negative charges. So, there is no dipole moment. So, what is happening? There is no permanent dipole moment at all. They are getting polarized in the presence of electric field, and all the molecules which belong to this category are symmetric in nature. This phenomena is exhibited because of the shape, that is symmetric in, belong to this category are symmetric in nature. That is a symmetric shape. They have a symmetric shape. For example, oxygen O2, N2, helium and neon. So polar dielectrics, because of the symmetric in shape, they are able to, there is no dipole moment, and in the presence of electric field they are getting polarized. These type are called as non-polar dielectrics. What are polar dielectrics? The centers of both positive and negative charges don't coincide. In such a case, what is happening when centers of positive and negative charges do not coincide means they are separated by a fixed distance which leads to a dipole. So there is a dipole moment. So such type of materials are called as polar dielectric materials. The centers of both positive and negative charges don't coincide with each other. These possess permanent dipole moment. They are permanently polarized in nature. The reason behind this is their shape. They are all asymmetric shape. They are all asymmetric shape. That is not symmetric. Example, water, KCl and NH3. So the main difference between non-polar and polar are because of the symmetry shape in the symmetry. These two are different. Non-polars have zero dipole moment but get polarized. Polar dielectrics have a permanent dipole moment. Next is expression for a static dielectric constant. Consider a parallel plate capacitor. You know that a capacitor is nothing but a component which has ability to store a charge. Consider such a capacitor of area A, charge density sigma and the total charge Q. Look at the figure here. It is a parallel plate capacitor where positive charges are on one plate and negative charges are on another plate separated by a distance d. From Gauss law, electric intensity between the plates E is equal to sigma by epsilon naught into epsilon r. The potential difference, we know that V is equal to E into D. Since we know that E is given in the above equation, substitute the value of E into the equation V is equal to E into D. You will be getting as sigma by epsilon naught into epsilon r into D. Sigma by epsilon naught epsilon r into D. This is the expression for the potential difference. Now we will see what exactly happens. What is dielectric? Where is it placed? When the dielectric is not placed between the parallel plate capacitors. So what is happening in the distance? You can see from the diagram there is a distance of D, separation between the two plates. If that separation is not filled with any dielectric medium, we will see what is the ability to store the charge, which is nothing but a capacitance. So C in the absence of dielectric is nothing but C is equal to Q by V. Q is nothing but sigma A and V is equal to sigma D by epsilon naught. So getting the value, without a dielectric placed in a parallel plate capacitor, capacitance C is equal to epsilon naught A by D. But if you fill that distance between the two slabs with the dielectric material like mica or glass or whatever the dielectric material, what is happening to the capacitance of a capacitor? In the presence of dielectric C with the dielectric, it is epsilon naught epsilon r A by D. We'll see. We have seen what happens to the capacitance of a capacitor with the dielectric and without a dielectric. Looking at these two expressions, you can say that capacitance of a capacitance has been increased by epsilon r times. Therefore, capacitance of a capacitor is increased in the presence of dielectric. Therefore, static dielectric constant epsilon r is given by the ratio of capacitance without the dielectric with the capacitance ratio of capacitance with the dielectric to the ratio of capacitance without the dielectric. So, static dielectric constant epsilon r is nothing but C with dielectric by C without dielectric. It is a ratio. With the dielectric, what is the capacitance, and without the dielectric, what is the capacitance? The ratio with dielectric to without dielectric gives you the static dielectric constant epsilon r. The same has been explained here. Dielectric constant or the relative permittivity. Dielectric constant epsilon r can be defined as a ratio of capacitance of a capacitor with the dielectric as a medium to the capacitance of the same capacitor with air as a medium. That is, epsilon r is a ratio of capacitance with the dielectric to the capacitance without the dielectric. That here the permittivity of the medium is given by epsilon r into epsilon naught. Epsilon naught into epsilon r. So epsilon naught is equal to 8.854 into 10 to the power of minus 12 Weber per meter, called permittivity of the free space. Now electric dipole is defined as two equal and opposite charges separated by a small distance. As I told you before, electric dipole is nothing but electric charges separated by a fixed distance. Here it is L, negative minus Q plus Q separated by a small length L gives you the electric dipole. Now dipole moment is the product of charge and the separation of distance of separation. Dipole moment is nothing but the product of charge and the distance of separation. So mu is equal to Q into L. So this is what is the small definitions, and now we will see what is dielectric polarizability. Alpha, it is denoted by alpha. It is defined as the induced dipole moment of an atom per unit electric field intensity. That is, alpha is equal to mu by E. It is defined as induced dipole moment of an atom per unit electric field intensity. As per the definition, it is nothing but alpha is equal to mu by E. Induced dipole moment mu per unit electric field intensity. It can also be shown that mu can be written as P by N. Therefore, alpha can be written as P by Ne, where N is the number of dipoles per unit volume. Next is a polarization P. This we already have discussed. We'll see once again. Polarization P is defined as electric dipole moment per unit volume. That is, P is equal to mu by V. Mu is the electric dipole moment. Mu by V. The units are coulomb per meter square. Therefore, P is equal to, from the above equation, we can say that P is equal to alpha E by V. From the above equation, just now we have seen mu alpha is equal to mu by E. Therefore, mu is equal to alpha E. Substituting that equation, you are getting P is equal to alpha E by V. and also P is equal to N alpha V, where N is the number of dipoles per unit volume. From the above equation, we can say that P is equal to N alpha V, which is where N is the number of dipoles per unit volume, and also P is equal to epsilon naught into epsilon r minus 1 into E. This is the expression which I have given you in the first slide. As I told you, we can see in the subsequent slide. Now we can see the derivation P is equal to N alpha into E. You can see this in the above equation. Alpha is equal to P by Ne. Rearranging the terms, P is equal to N alpha E. Also electric susceptibility. It is denoted by psi. It is nothing but P by epsilon naught into E, which is equal to epsilon r minus 1. This we have got it from the above equation. P by epsilon, bring P by epsilon into E. If you rearrange the terms, the P by epsilon naught into E is nothing but electric susceptibility, which gives to epsilon r minus 1. Thank you.